This momentum wheel project is getting very exciting now. Now that the big bandsaw is up and running properly, this week I was able to try cutting out the wooden fellows. It's crucial that they're exactly the right size and shape, or they won't fit together around the rim of the wheel. So I made an additional template so I could start the end cuts more precisely with my ancient skill saw. It won't cut all the way through, that would be too easy, and transferring the template to the other side relies on the timber being squarely cut in the first place, which of course it isn't. To be sure, each piece would need to be planed square and thicknessed, but my machine isn't big enough for that, so I'm doing the best I can and hoping that the variations won't be too big. These wooden fellows should add significant weight to the outside of the wheel and help it keep going whatever I ask it to do. Ashley helped, and that was good because they needed support through the bandsaw because they're very heavy. And the saw bed is not flat at all. So that's something I'll need to address in the future for other projects. Of course, the saw cut through the bit in the middle easily enough. I could have done that with a handsaw. The real test will be the full depth cuts on a curve. And the bandsaw coped really well, considering this is a rusty old blade with absolutely no set on it. I'm already saving up for a new blade. And not forgetting that the engine powering this is 80 years old and only rated at 6 horsepower. So that was all very satisfying, and we ended up with 10 lumps of timber with faces splayed at 36 degrees from each other. I hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. The faces needed cleaning up, and then they all needed drilling out. I chose this sort of drill bit because it's the least likely to flex, I think, and follow the grain in the wrong direction. The holes need to go right through, but of course the bit isn't long enough, and anyway they wouldn't come out on the other side in the right place. So I turned them over and drilled them from both sides, and again that relies on the templates being directly opposite each other. Most of these did line up close enough that the bolts would go right through first time, so that was good, a bit surprising. As discussed before, I've designed this wheel with steel straps around the rim. These should triangulate all the spokes and keep the ends of the felloes together too, but only if my drawing is accurate and if my cutting is accurate. Otherwise, any mistakes will accumulate with each spoke until the last ones won't fit. I needed 20 straps on each side, and I cut them out of 4mm sheet. This is just 10 of them. These will add a lot of weight too, along with all the bolts that hold everything together. And these things, 20 butterfly ties to hold the straps in place and the ends of the fellows. Okay, so I'm going to use these long cut-offs. So if we put the wooden bit in, and then there'll be 2 inside and 2 outside, and I hope it works. We'll get the hang of it. So all this prep was quite stressful, all those materials and all that work, and I won't know whether they'll fit together until the very last bolt goes in. Of course the first ones will go on, and the second and the third, because the spokes are not tight yet, and I can move them a bit. But if we move the spokes together, or push them apart even by 1 millimeter, then the discrepancies accumulate, and the last one just won't fit. So we started assembly with a bit of head scratching thrown in. Okay, right, now before we go any further, we need 2 more short ones. And how do they go? The inside one go there. Yep. Hammerator. Moment. Let me just check it actually. Lovely. And then it goes there. And go there. We put them in on opposite sides, so not too much weight built up on one side. Quick washers and nuts before they fall off. And after that I was on my own for the last half of the fittings. And each new piece of the wheel made it heavier and bigger, and brings me nearer to the denouement. Will the pieces fit or not? Success or failure? Triumph or disaster? So this was all exciting, but also I was feeling totally fraught. The holes have to line up perfectly on 3 plates on one side. Then the bolt has to go through 6 inches of timber, and then through 3 more plates on the other side, with less and less room for movement. It was getting more and more difficult, so I set up a car jack to help, and a crowbar on top of that. I spent the whole day doing this. One fellow after another went into place until finally only 2 were missing. This time I needed a ratchet strap too, because it was tight in about 5 different directions. And here, the very last one. Gently does it, pulling and pushing until eventually all the holes lined up. What a relief! Another whole day went on drilling holes and fitting the butterfly ties. They alternate from inside the straps to outside the straps. They're also through bolted. 40 more holes and 40 more bolts. The problem again was lining all the holes up. The strap would move slightly and trap the drill in a kind of wedge movement, and everything would jam up. Luckily, I didn't break any bits, and they're all in now. Right then, how long will this wheel keep spinning after a hefty pull? Don't worry, you've plenty of time to think about it. This is a big wheel, and it's been a big job. I think I've been working on this for, I don't know, weeks now. Of course, it's not finished yet. I need to round off the outside and balance it, and only then can I start thinking of how to attach teeth to the spokes to turn it into something useful. I know I said it was for grinding charcoal, which it is, but I'm hoping it will also possibly grind up logs. But more on that later. But even this is something, isn't it? I made a wheel that's more than 8 feet wide and weighs close to half a ton, and it goes round and round and round, round and round and round. It finally stopped after about 5 minutes. How close was your guess?